down the hatches, put your bulletproof vests on, strap up your boots, and for the love of God, make sure you got a helmet, because the greatest shooter to ever walk this sexy blue beast we call the earth is in town, and he may be sporting some gray hairs, but that doesn't mean he can't still drop you when he's got you in the crosshairs. Steph Curry and these Golden State Warriors are battle-tested, but nobody, and I mean nobody, has been in the trenches this season more than the Minnesota Timberwolves. So if they want smoke, consider us Cheech and Chong with the bong, because we want all of it. The Wolves have already eliminated the L.A. Lakers and will look to keep on conquering California as they welcome the Golden State Warriors to the Target Center tonight for Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal matchup. Tip-off is around 8:30, and as always, you can hear every bit of action right here on FM 100.3 KFAN or on the free iHeartRadio app. In the meantime, you've been cordially invited to the pregame party presented by Youngstedts, the auto service masters. Book your service appointment today at youngstedts.com. You got to book an appointment at Youngstedts, but you ain't got to book an appointment for the pregame party. It's all ages, races, genders, species. We don't care. Shout out to the Dolphin homies out there. They might like the Timberwolves. We don't care. We're just here to get you hype. And by we, I mean me, Max Fuller, a.k.a. Samuel L. Maxson, a.k.a. Froby Keith, a.k.a. Tim Max Graw, a.k.a. a million other things. And, of course, it ain't a party without my dog, who, by the way, recently graduated from the U with a PhD in balling and a double minor in dropping dimes and breaking ankles. The one, the only Dr. Parker Fox V.
Oh, my gosh. I got chills today, Max. So it's another playoff series. We're back at Target Center. We talked about it, coming off of the last series, how excited we were to be back in Target Center versus in Houston for round 2. But instead, we have the higher seat, and we're at home hosting the Dubs, the Golden State Warriors. The electricity is in the air. It's 80 and sunny today.
Oh, my God.
Phenomenal day here in Minneapolis, and it's going to be a phenomenal night in Minneapolis as the Wolves are going to take Game 1 against the Warriors. We'll get into all of that.
Yes, sir.
But we have a special guest with us.
I mean, he's even a special guest at this point. He's like the third co-host of the show. He's a friend. He's family of the show, not just a friend, a brother from another mother. MC John B, a.k.a. John Barry, the Timberwolves in arena host. How you feeling ahead of Game 1?
I feel great. It was Star Wars Day, so can I do, what is it, Max 1 Kenobi?
Froby-1
Kenobi as well,
Obi-Wan,
yeah.
Froby.
Froby-1 Kenobi, yes. I feel great. I'm so excited that Game 1 is at our house. Like I said, I couldn't wait another 4 days to have Target Center lit, and the energy is, I can already feel it. I felt it all day.
Yeah! We already got people banging on the glass. It's only 6:30.
It's 6:30. I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited. I got up at 5 a.m. this morning. I had to do something. I was just like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with anything. Like, I was like, let's go. Let's do all of this today. So, Max, take us there. Take me there. I'm there.
Well, we need you to take us there, big dog. You the in-arena hype
You know
host.
what? Just wear the T-shirts. That's all I ask from people today.
I was just about to ask. That was my first question. Where are the damn free T-shirts?
The T-shirts are here.
Okay.
They're on the seats.
Yeah,
just
they're here
I
today.
need Target Center. Just throw on a T-shirt.
Can we talk about that briefly?
Yes, we
because
can.
there's nothing better than when a full arena is wearing the T-shirt. I don't know if you guys watch playoff hockey at all.
Yeah.
But with the Winnipeg Jets, they had the whiteout for a couple games. I think they had a Game 7 whiteout, and it was just incredible. Every single person was wearing the T-shirt. And I know there's people that have probably put their Versace on, their Louis Vuitton
on.
They're
we
sitting
all together.
courtside.
It's one Minnesota.
We don't care if it's Gucci or if it's Uchi, if it's Prada or nada. We don't care if it's Timu. You better put that Timberwolves shirt on.
That Gildan shirt on, baby.
There are a lot of interns that put those shirts on the seats. Please indulge them and put the T-shirt on. It looks better on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody watched the Oklahoma City game last night.
Oh,
Everybody,
my
it looked
God.
great in all black. That was amazing. Let's have that recreation here.
Yes.
And I will say, if you are not wearing white, if you are not wearing the T-shirt, we will find you.
We'll find
at
you.
Target Center.
We'll hunt you down.
We will let you know. Shirt Alert is back again
I
this year.
can't wait.
Me and
Shirt Alert is
me and
back.
Max, we'll be putting it on.
Oh, for sure.
We'll get to our seats.
No doubt.
You
I
can
went
see
all
us.
white. I went all white. I went white
I love
pants,
it. White
white hoodie. I
shoes,
like
get
white
the
shoes.
hat.
I got it all. White. It's all white.
Pointed
tonight.
white hood.
Yes.
Which why you got that on?
What?
No, I'm just-
Oh, come on, Max.
I'm just playing.
Come on, Max. Not here. Not tonight.
There is something about just everyone being all in, even if it's
Yes.
something as simple as just an outfit. There is something about everyone being all in, all on the same page. And if there's anything you can say about this Timberwolves fan base, we're all in on these
All in.
Minnesota
Yeah, well,
Timberwolves
call
right
me
now.
crazy, but I think this kind of situation, everybody wearing it, that embodies what Timberwolves basketball is all about, man.
Yeah.
It embodies about like where we're going as Minneapolis, as a state of Minnesota, and as a basketball team. Like, this team isn't just an Anthony Edwards-based basketball team.
No.
This is a deep basketball
Yes.
team. This is a team that can go into their bench. I expect them to do that in this series. This is a Warriors team coming off of 7 games. Like, I expect this Wolves team, and we'll talk about it later in the show, to go deep into their bench, to play guys like Terrence Shannon Jr. for a couple minutes, Jalen Clark maybe
Yeah,
for a couple
right,
minutes.
absolutely.
You're not stopping Steph Curry one-on-one. We've
no.
seen it for too long. It takes an army to stop him. So expect a lot of bodies thrown at him. But, man, just like I said, let's get everybody in white, and let's get this place rocking tonight. Let's
Absolutely.
show Golden State Warriors what we're about here in Minneapolis.
There's a lot of storylines from playing the Warriors here. You know,
so many
You
storylines.
got
More than an
Draymond.
episode of General Hospital going into this episode. It's crazy.
Let's just say I don't have any general soreness tonight. Like, I'm rested and ready to go here. So
I can't wait for the first General Soreness chant. It's got to break out at some point.
There's going to be that. There's going to be a certain reporter who's not on ESPN anymore. There's going to be a lot of that. Timberwolves fans do not forget, and they will let people know about it. So I'm very excited for that.
Well, and you mentioned it, John. I mean, there's so many different things. Before we even get into the basketball, there's the Rudy Gobert versus Draymond kind of beef. Kind of Draymond versus the Minnesota Timberwolves in general. He's been very disrespectful
He's got a
towards the
commercial
Timberwolves.
that calls us out. Like, he's got a car
He
commercial.
got paid to slander
Yes.
us.
Forget about the Grizzlies.
It's like, Daddy, what about the Timberwolves? Don't forget about the Grizzlies. They're like, really? Come on.
Come
Catching
on,
strays
dog.
on an Acura commercial? Like, come on now. Seriously.
Ant's just that deep in everybody's head.
He really
that's all it
is.
That's all it is.
And he talked about it before the season even started. He said, I want the Golden State
want the
Warriors.
Warriors.
I want Draymond Green because he talks a lot of smack, and now we're finally getting it. So we got that whole beef. We got the Jimmy Butler versus the whole state of Minnesota beef
upper
at
Midwest,
this point.
yeah.
Right, the whole upper Midwest. 'Cause I don't think the people in Chicago really mess
No.
with Jimmy like that
Not
either. So
anymore.
it's the whole
It
Midwest
was
versus Jimmy
Chicago,
Butler.
skip a team, Philadelphia, Miami. Like, that right there cemented everything for the upper Midwest, for
Right.
sure.
Like the Jimmy Butler Haters Club. I mean, that's got.
Oh, it's out there.
It's out there, and it's
Yeah.
plentiful.
Even though Jimmy Butler claims he has no beef with Minnesota. So we'll see about that. I think it's his first game in over 1,200 days playing
Wow.
back in Target Center. He was here in the building for a couple games, but he wasn't healthy and suited up. He had a couple little injuries through the first round. He had a little
Some general soreness,
tailbone, a little general soreness. But expect him to be back tonight, and expect Jimmy Butler to kind of come out of the gates hot. You know, when you talk about a guy who's played for a bunch of different teams, and now you're coming back to a team where you had a lot of drama, and that drama might be with other people that are no longer here. You still have that animosity.
There's nobody here.
Not even a
from
single
that
man,
team.
not the coaching staff. Nobody's
Nobody's
right?
here.
What was
Like,
that, 2017, 2018?
2019. It was 2019.
Okay.
Yep. So nobody's here from that. So it should be, but the
It's
fans.
more with the fans. Yeah,
fans
remember.
Yeah, we
know.
remember. We ain't forget about that one.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm excited to see the matchups. I'm excited to hear you break it down, Parker, and like what is the key for tonight's game, key for the series as well too. So I'm just gonna sit here and be hyped and just listen to y'all talk.
Let's start it off there, Max. Like, we'll go to you first. Obviously, what is your biggest key tonight, game one?
I think the key is getting a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker going
like that.
and playing clean basketball. The more I've watched the Warriors throughout the season, but the more I read up on this Warriors team, man, they're a seriously good defense since Jimmy Butler has arrived, and he's kind of been the anchor on two ends of the floor, or at least a buoy, I should say, because he's taken the load partially off of Steph Curry's shoulders on the offensive end, and then obviously he's one of the what's That's my dog from Fox 9 over there. But obviously, he's a anchor defensively as well, and takes some of that load off of Draymond's end as well. So this Warriors team, man, they lead the league. They're one of the best in the league in steals, one of the best in the league in fewest possessions in the game. Like they don't. It's almost like, how there's a prevent defense in the NFL. They almost play like a prevent defense in the NBA. They keep the ball out of teams' hands because they're not a big team, and we'll talk about that later too. Obviously, we still have the size advantage once again in this series. They're not a big team, so they kind of make up for that by just being hellacious, moving constantly around the floor. So you just got to play really clean basketball. And overall, I thought the Timberwolves, who at times obviously struggled with turnovers throughout the season, I thought they played some really clean basketball against the Lakers. So I think the key there is just kind of playing really clean basketball, keep it moving, beat the Warriors almost at their own game. No hero ball, keep the ball moving, keep it clean, and just try to get as many shots up as possible. Take advantage of that size, the offensive rebound, because that's another thing the Warriors do really well for not being a tall team is rebounding offensively. So just try to you got to win the possession battle. I think even Chris Finch was saying that just a couple of days ago before they knew who their opponent was. He was saying both Houston and Golden State are really good at winning the possession battle. So I think that's key here. What about you, Parker?
Man, I think there's a lot of keys. When you talk about winning playoff series, right, it's not just one knockout punch.
Right.
And for me, a key to this is having an early knockout punch, especially in this first quarter of game one here. Houston and this Warriors team, they had a 7-game series. So they went down to the wire. And if you look at the box score in that 7th game, almost 5 players, all but one starter, played 40 minutes for the Warriors. Oof. And the only person that really came off the bench was Kevon Looney, who played 11 minutes. So this team, they were battle-tested in round 1, and they survived because, hey, they're the Golden State Warriors. They've been here before. They've been to these moments. Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, is I don't know, I want to say big 3 because I don't really want to include Jimmy Butler in the whole Warriors deal yet, although he's kind of carving his way into there. Sure. But I think this Warriors team knows how to win playoff series, so you have to find a way to combat that. And I'm pretty confident about this Wolves team, and like you and John said, we got a lot of good things going for us as a Wolves team, but you can't let anything creep in. And I think it starts tonight in game 1 in the first quarter. We have to see an early punch from this Timberwolves team, because if you don't, and if you let them stay around, they're going to stay around. They're going to make shots. They're going to get things at the rim. They're going to do good things defensively. So you have to find a way to take them out of the game early and then keep that foot on the gas. Because if you break up and you let Steph Curry start making a couple shots, things start to get a little weird. So, I think for me, the biggest point is first quarter, right away, let's punch them in the mouth and keep going downhill.
We have to play physical and with pace as well, too, but not out of control pace. It's got to be
right.
You can't just be running up and down the floor, because that's where Steph Curry really thrives. And those broken plays, he just launches a 30-foot 3 and it goes in. You're just like, those are backbreakers for a team like that.
Yeah.
Where you don't get an offensive rebound, somebody kicks it out to Steph and he hits a 3. So I want to see the Wolves play with pace, play with some physicality as well, too. Like you said, Parker, they're a bigger team.
Yep.
Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. I'd love to see Julius Randle, whoever guards him.
Oh, please.
Because
oh, man.
If it's Draymond guarding Julius, that'd be great. But Draymond's going to want to guard Rudy Gobert. So who is going to guard Julius Randle? And once we find out that matchup, Julius has got to exploit that.
And that's the thing, too, about matchups. And I think we've seen throughout the Wolves, especially last year and transition into this year, we haven't really adjusted what we do for other teams.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes for winning teams. Winning teams have their formula, and they stay by that. I think Coach Chris Finch has kind of found that winning formula, what it looks like for the Timberwolves. You're going to see some weird stuff from the Warriors. You might see them go small and not even play a big, play Draymond at the 5. You have to find ways to take advantage of that. We saw Rudy Gobert take advantage of that in Game 5 against the Lakers with 27 points, 24 rebounds. We saw him absolutely take over when there was no big for the Lakers. If the Warriors do that, Rudy has to do the same.
Are you expecting that from Rudy? Because I'm expecting a huge series from Rudy, and hopefully he's still. I mean, I know it's been a few days now, but hopefully he's still got that momentum going off of that last couple games. And as we talked about before, I mean, coming into the playoffs, he was red hot offensively. So I'm expecting a big series from Rudy Gobert.
There's Jeff Munichie right there,
What's
the
up,
man
dude?
that makes this thing work. He is the bomb. But no, you're right. Speaking of the bomb, we got Rudy Gobert down low inside. I think interior defense is going to be key in this series. Yes, the Warriors like to shoot a lot of threes, and they're gonna take a lot. We saw Boston take 60 threes last night. Expect this Warriors team to take a lot of threes as well. But this Warriors team, they don't really want to get in the paint and finish around, bigger, taller defenders, especially when you have guys like Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert inside there, down low, holding down the fort. But offensively is where Rudy has to be awesome. If they're going to go small, we have to find ways to take advantage of that. And now I'm not saying we pass it into Rudy and he posts up and he gets to do his bag.
He's not going to
Right.
That's
He's not going to do no dream shake. No.
That's not what we're looking for, man. Just play your role. And I think that's something that Rudy's really found here in Minnesota. And it seems that he doesn't force extra stuff when he doesn't need to. He plays his role. He offensively and defensively rebounds. And then it's that quick one where you're grabbing it and you're putting it right up for a dunk. And when we talked about Rudy's improvement at the free throw line, something we didn't see early in the
So
Lakers
it feels
series.
so good to, I don't sweat it when he's at the free throw line anymore.
Yes, exactly. Something he missed a couple early in the Lakers series, and then he redeemed himself finishing off that series. Expect Rudy Gobert to have a huge series, especially if the Warriors want to stay small.
And I want to see them on the defensive end stop the back cuts as well, too.
Yes.
They have a lot of motion offense.
Oh,
and
it's hard.
so
So
it's
many,
hard.
man.
Just be disciplined. Don't fall for those pump fakes because you're going to get Draymond going to the rim for an easy layup. And you're just going to be like, well, that just happened. So just be mindful on defensive end. They're going to do a lot of back cuts, back screens to get easy layups for sure.
Yeah, we say butt to the baseline. That's a big key, and you'll see in this series. You have to keep your man and the hoop. You have to be in between those things. So if you ever see guys putting their hands up with the finger guns, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Like you have
Point
to,
them out.
you have to know where your guy is at all times. Because this Warriors team, man, they run stuff to perfection.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of their stuff is pin downs. All of their stuff is extra screens. Steph Curry, watch him tonight. He's going to be flying all over the place. People are going to be setting screens for him, especially Jimmy Butler. I heard Barrero talking about that as I drove in today. Just the way Jimmy Butler has found kind of his niche in setting screens for Steph Curry, creating separation for Steph Curry. Defensively, the Wolves are going to have to be on one tonight.
Yeah, that Warriors team is just constantly moving. I mean, I know it's
motion.
like watching it as a fan, you're like, how the hell is Steph Curry wide open? He's the greatest shooter of all time. But then if you rewind and watch the play, he's running. I mean, he's running a mile just to get a to get a 3-pointer. It's absolutely absurd the cardio this guy has, and just the mind of Steve Kerr to constantly be drawing up new things to get Steph Curry open. It's going to be quite the chess match between the Wolves defense and obviously Steph Curry. There is no stopping Steph Curry. I mean, there's a reason he's the greatest shooter of all time, and the Wolves know very well. I think he scored 30 or more in all 3 of the Warriors' wins earlier this season. And to kind of just zoom out to the macro for a second, is there anything to really? Are you guys tripping about this? The Warriors won the regular season series 3-1. Do you think there's anything to glean from that, or is that just something we kind of throw out the window? I mean, not throw out the window. Shout out to the Lorax. We don't litter around here. Throw it in the garbage. Is that something you just kind of throw away because
Joe Biden
both of these teams are completely
when that happened? Okay, so
doesn't that feel like 5 years ago? Yeah.
So I don't gain anything from that. We lost 3 games to Phoenix last year before we played them and swept them last year. So throw the regular season out the window. It's May. This is different. Like, this is going to be just epic. This is going to be a great series.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to basketball, there's a different level that you go to playoff-wise.
Right.
In this environment, at this place. Like, don't get me wrong, you're trying to play hard in all the games, but there's 82 of them, and I think we've seen the kind of pomp and circumstance when it comes to this Wolves and Warriors kind of drama.
Yeah.
And we've seen the Anthony Edwards, Draymond Green. Like, I wouldn't even call it beef because I don't think it's beef, but it's, it's just competitive.
Healthy competition.
Yeah, healthy competitive spirit, right?
That's the coach speak way of saying it.
Exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. So you take into what happened in the regular season and you try to learn from it. You watch film and you try to figure out what they're doing. But at the end of the day, this is a different game. This is playoff basketball, and I expect the Wolves to come out right away from the jump and set the tone early.
Yeah, I'm not really tripping about it either, especially if you look at the Warriors roster they still had Andrew Wiggins. Yeah. They still had Dennis Schroeder. I think Kyle Anderson was still in the mix and starting some of these games. And obviously both of these two teams are they've changed so much since January when the last time the Warriors
We didn't know
and
what
the
Julius
Wolves
was going
met.
to do for us.
Right.
So Julius was still trying to find his role. Now that Julius has found it, how are they going to guard Julius Randle? Jaden McDaniels as well, too.
Yeah.
He's going to be the tallest guy on the floor at some point.
Yeah.
And how does he get to the rim and just dunk it over everybody? That's what I want to see, just like in the Lakers series.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. We didn't see this version of Julius early in the season. And it takes time when you're coming into a new system, a new organization. Yeah, he's familiar with Chris Finch, and he was his head coach or, one of his assistants, whatever that was, down in New Orleans when he played there. So you have the familiarity, but it takes time to get acclimated with new guys, and this is a different Wolves team than we saw in the regular season. Now, don't get me wrong, this Warriors team is doing something special right now as well. I think they ended up finishing their season on a 23-8 record to finish their season out. So, like, this is a Warriors team.
They were like they were one of the only teams that were just as hot as the Wolves coming into the playoffs.
Right. So they're trending in the right direction. This is where those kind of the collision kind of happens between two great teams. But what an awesome opportunity for a guy like Anthony Edwards. He's talked about he wants to be this legend slayer, this guy that takes
King
out.
Slayer.
Even Randy Orton passed on the title to him yesterday. That was
really,
amazing.
huh?
Yeah. You ever watch WWE back in the day? Yeah. You remember Randy Orton on the Legend Killer run? He tweeted Anthony Edwards yesterday. He passed on the moniker of Legend Killer onto Anthony Edwards.
I love it. And he's got the opportunity right in front of him.
Absolutely.
He got LeBron, he got Luka. Now go get Draymond and Steph Curry in these next 4 or 5, whatever game it takes you.
And all those people out there that are wizards with Photoshop, please Photoshop Anthony Edwards RKOing Steph Curry. We need that. I need that sent to my DMs immediately. And before we get more into the nitty-gritty of the series, still kind of looking at it from a macro perspective, obviously this is a completely different matchup than against the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Just kind of in general, Parker, what do you think is the biggest difference heading into this series compared to last?
Yeah, I think you have to find a way to guard a team more than guarding individuals, right? So you look at the Lakers series, and we talked about the depth of the Lakers team. It was non-existent. It was a Luka show or it was a LeBron show. And yeah, those two guys are great, but when you're guarding two guys individually, the Wolves have the recipe to do that defensively. Now it's the harder task. Now you have to guard a team with a system that's been doing it for several years with an elite player in Steph Curry and an elite coach in Steve Kerr. So I think it's a different kind of defensive matchup, but I still think the Wolves are built in the right way. And what I mean by that is, yeah, we have great individual interior and exterior defenders, but more importantly, we have depth, especially on the defensive end. We have Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming off the bench, Naz Reid, possible Terrence Shannon and Jalen Clark. Like, we have guys defensively that we can throw out there to get guys breather where you're not taking this big drop, right? Like, when you go to the bench, you don't want to see -10 or -8. You want to see something even or even plus. So I think it's a different type of defensive matchup, but with the same idea of, hey, we have to find ways to stop this team. Granted, Steph Curry is going to spearhead it.
James in the chat wants to know 2 non-starters to watch in this series. Let's do one for each team.
Let's do one for each. Okay, I think Kevon Looney for the Warriors, if he doesn't start, I know the Warriors will probably switch up some matchup things, especially if the Wolves go big with Rudy Gobert in the starting lineup. I could see them altering some things. But I think Kevon Looney is a key in this series just with his size. If the Wolves are winning games like they did against the Lakers with the +30 and +20 points in the paint differential, you have to find a way to kind of, I don't even know. You can't mitigate it. Like, you're not going to take it away because we're so much bigger and stronger, but you have to find ways to kind of stop that. So I got Kevon Looney for the Warriors, and then for the Timberwolves, you talked about it to start the show off, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's been so awesome for us over these past couple years. He's a guy that's going to get paid a lot in this offseason regardless of where he goes, but he's got to do it in the playoffs this year. He didn't have it in that Lakers series, but expect Nickeil Alexander-Walker to have a big series, especially defensively when
he's
there's
going
to be foul trouble, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be stuff
Yep.
where you have to go and guard number 30.
And you're going to throw you got to throw as many bodies at Steph as you can.
It's going to be like a carousel, man.
Right.
It's going to be like, you're up, you're up, you're up. So I expect Nickeil Alexander-Walker to have a big game defensively, but we know, Max, what Nickeil Alexander-Walker can do on the wings and in the corner shooting the ball.
He's lethal.
If he starts getting hot and this Wolves team starts feeding off that, Nickeil Alexander's a guy to watch offensively shooting the 3-ball from deep.
And you mentioned that. I was reading Britt Robson's article earlier who just walked by. He's an elite Timberwolves mind. And he actually mentioned that because the way the Warriors play defense with so much motion, that corner shot is available. And the Warriors, they let teams shoot 49% from that right corner. So that seems like a perfect place for Na to get going tonight.
It's the easiest spot to shoot the 3-ball. It's the shortest distance to the rim. Any NBA player, if they can find themselves in that corner, they love to shoot it. Na has done it specifically very well throughout his career. So expect to find Na in that corner. Hopefully he can make a couple.
In that case too, Mike Conley, that's his corner, that's his shot right over there too. So I expect a lot from him. If you're going to say that they're going to leave that corner open, Mike Conley should be there as well too.
You got a non-starter that you're watching out for, MC John?
I'm watching for Jalen Clark to see if he gets off the bench and can guard Steph a little bit as well too. We're talking that second when Ant goes down in the second quarter, 4 or 5 minutes guarding Steph, picking up Steph full court. And then on the Warriors side, are they going to get Jonathan Kuminga off the bench?
Yeah.
Is he going to have a role in this series?
He's a guy that he dropped 20-something when they played earlier in the season.
Yeah, is he going to, because he's long and athletic, he can match up with Ant, he can match up with Jaden McDaniels. Can he get off the bench and out of Steve Kerr's doghouse?
Yeah, he kind of got his leash tightened up by Steve Kerr.
What did he was it just like general bad play? Do either of you know like what exactly he did to kind of have that leash tightened?
Yeah, I think he just wasn't playing to the level that they wanted him to play at. And then we both know the Warriors, this is a system-based team. Like this isn't a, throw the ball
he doesn't
out and let's
quite
go
fit
hoop.
in their system.
Yeah.
He's more of a, he actually fits better with Houston, which is funny, than he does with Golden State. So I don't know what's going to happen with Jonathan Kuminga in the summer, but if he makes an appearance in this series, it's probably a good thing for us.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think you saw it in Game 7. He really didn't get meaningful minutes until it was all wrapped up against Houston. He's a great player. He's done some awesome things. I preseason voted him as my most improved player. I was a little, I was a little wrong with that one.
You might just be ahead of the game. Last year I declared
Maybe
the last
25-26.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year I said, watch out for the Pistons this year. They were ass. But I was right this year. So you might just be ahead of the curve.
There you go. Exactly. But he's a talented player, man. And I think if he gets some minutes out there, he creates some length and athleticism that they don't have in other spots, especially like a Buddy Hield, who's more of just a spot-up shooter. I don't expect to see him much. But if things get weird and if the Wolves get off to 2 early wins and you're going back to Golden State searching for something, he might be a name that gets brought up later in the series.
For sure.
MC John B, do you have a general series prediction before we head to break, our first break here?
I really want to see him clinch it at home, so I want to say Wolves in an odd number that's not 3. I'd love to see
Wolves in 3, baby.
I'd love to see Wolves in 5 and Wolves in 7, but I think Golden State is they're really good.
Yes.
And I don't know about San Francisco going out there and getting 2 wins in San Francisco. So Wolves in 5. I think Wolves in 5.
Love it. The party's just getting started here at the Target Center. You could hear the Timberwolves crew action packed coming through, getting everybody hype. John Barry will be on the mic all night, ready to go. You got anything special planned that you can share with the people?
Just wear the t-shirts. Just wear the t-shirts. That's all of you standing out here outside right now. Wear the t-shirts.
We will shame you.
We will shame you if you don't wear the, unless you're wearing white.
Look at us.
If you are wearing white, you're good.
Don't ignore us.
Don't ignore us.
You can hear this.
If you're wearing white, you're good. If you're not, throw on the t-shirt. We are all in this together. One Minnesota. That's how we do it in here.
John Barry has a particular set of skills, and he will hunt you down like Liam Neeson to make sure you're wearing that white tee. John, we appreciate you for joining us on the pregame party as always. I mean, you're family of the show, so you're basically the third co-host. So you might as well just. I'm expecting you at every game.
I'm gonna text you. You're
late if I don't see you next time. And I'm gonna dock your pay, which is 0. So you're gonna owe me. It's gonna be negative. Yeah.
I'll give you ride home, Maxx.
Hey, that'll do. That will do. But we ain't going nowhere. Keep your party hats on. There's still plenty more party to be had. We haven't even busted out pin the tail on the Draymond yet. So sit back, relax, and let's keep the party rolling after the break. This is the Wolves pregame party presented by Youngstedts, and we'll be back right after this.
This is Timberwolves basketball. Woo! Live on the Timberwolves channel on iHeartRadio and tonight on KFAN.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're all about keeping you on the road to summer fun, to rides, to the beach, even to faraway places.
Are we there yet?
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Summer drives start here.
Hey, it's Guardsy from Bumper to Bumper for Gutter Helmet of Minnesota, the original gutter protection. Playing outside with the kids recently, I look up at the roof, reminded how glad I am that we had Gutter Helmet put on last year. We don't have to climb up there this spring to clean anything out, just like we didn't have to last fall. Gutter Helmet has kept our gutters clean for good. You can learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com and take advantage of 20% off any gutter system for April and May. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease, it'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Culligan of Minnesota has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries. Our local experts protect your drinking water from forever chemicals and other contaminants such as microplastics, lead, viruses, and nitrates. No one else filters more than Culligan. For a limited time, get fresh filtered Culligan water in your home for just $9.95 per month for the first 3 months. Contact Culligan of Minnesota. Water you love. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for details. Contaminants may not be in your water.
Hey, it's Paul Allen here for Early Bird Electric. Do you need electrical work done but don't know where to start? Early Bird has you covered. Early Bird Electric guarantees quality work, no surprise pricing, and same-day service. And all their technicians are licensed and background checked. On top of that, they'll explain even the most complex electrical repairs in terms we can all understand. You'll pat yourself on the back for choosing Early Bird. Early Bird Electric. Visit callthebird.com or call 612-THE-BIRD.
At BWS Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we're proud to be the home of the Better Way service experience, which means better care when you call us, better solutions when we arrive, better results every time, and a better feeling for you, knowing that everything we do revolves around providing you with service a better way, every step of the way. Find a better way for your home today. Just visit BWS Plumbing, Heating, and Air at BetterWayService.com.
To everyone who believes big flavor makes life better, we've got something special waiting for you at Culver's.
That's right. We're bringing back a flavor-packed fan favorite that's sure to put a smile on your face. The Colby Jack Pub Burger is here with a crave-worthy combo of fresh beef, Wisconsin Colby Jack cheese, crispy onions, and zesty A1 pepper mayo, all stacked on an everything bun. And we're not stopping there. We're also introducing something totally new. Concrete mixers and lemon ice coolers made with fruity Skittles Popped. This limited time Skittles Popped mix-in can be blended into our creamy, fresh frozen custard or slow frozen lemonade for a colorful crunch that makes every moment a little sweeter. So how soon can you get here? Because these bold bites won't be around forever. And trust us, you don't want to miss them.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Plugging you into safety, service, and innovation, Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs from troubleshooting to panel replacements. They leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com or call 612-777-WIRE. Experience the Edison difference.
American Pressure, commercial grade pressure washer since 1975. Find us at AmericanPressure.com.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by Minnesota United FC.
The Timberwolves tip off the Western Conference semis when they host Golden State tonight. Minnesota seeking back-to-back trips to the conference finals. Twins third baseman Royce Lewis will make his season debut tonight against Baltimore. He started the season on the injured list with a hamstring strain. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark getting a 3-year contract extension through 2030 after following through on promises to raise the conference's profile. I'm Frank Garrity.
Minnesota United returns to Allianz Field to face off against Inter Miami on May 10th at 3:30 p.m. Presented by Allianz. For tickets, stats, the latest news, and a full team schedule, visit MNUFC.com.
It's the Wolves and Warriors in round 2 of the NBA playoffs. Hear the Howl live this week, presented by TimberTech on FM 100.3, KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Back to the pregame party presented by Youngstedts, the auto service masters. Book your service appointment today at youngstedts.com. Max Fuller here alongside Dr. Parker Fox the Fifth. and my main man, Kyle Tigey, new friend of the show. How you doing, Kyle? How you feeling ahead of game one, brother?
I'm feeling good. Glad to be back. I think we're going to have to keep doing this until they lose, right?
Right. It's good luck. It's good mojo.
Very semi-stitious, but it feels good. I landed today. It's like, 78 degrees downtown Minneapolis.
Right. Mother Nature's a Wolves fan tonight.
I know there's something else going on across the street, but like we were talking about off mic, I think there's still some tickets available.
Hey, look at Jack Link's guy. Look at that.
Holy, Sasquatch is here.
Everybody's a Wolves fan tonight.
That was Luka Garza.
I think he saw the fro. He's like, my brother. There's Maxx Squatch.
I was just telling you, like, there's tickets available. So if you're listening, I know there's millions of people right now tuned into this, but if you're driving to softball or you're picking up the kids, like, you still have what?
Right. Turn
90
around.
minutes to kind of figure this out.
Turn around.
You can get in the building, man, for under $100.
And as Minnesota sports fans, we've been doing this, right? Like, we want good vibes. Finally, you have this opportunity. You're the favorite. You have Jimmy coming to town. You have Draymond coming to town. So if you're still on the fence, there's a good opportunity to get into Target Center, have a beverage or 6, watch Wolves Warriors game 1, and it's a different vibe, right? I mean, when's the last time you saw a 6 seed have home court and be a favorite in a series, especially in the second round?
Right.
So it tips off in an hour and a half, and I expect fireworks at 8:30.
And speaking of when's the last time you saw, this is the first time ever under Steve Kerr's direction that the Warriors have ever been underdogs in a playoff series, like gambling-wise.
That's crazy.
How nuts is that?
That's crazy. And, they're probably just leaning into that, right? Like, no one expects them after that 7-game. I mean, we were talking Randy Orton earlier. Like, WrestleMania is basically what Rockets Warriors was in the first round.
Yeah, 100%.
And for them to survive that, and now they have to, like, basically wake up and go to, like, SummerSlam. So I'm sure they're telling everyone in their locker room, like, no one expects us to do anything. I'm sure Finch is trying to do the same thing. But, again, you have home court. You have the rest. You've had time to scout a little bit. So I expect the Wolves to come out tonight like 7-point favorites to really have energy in that first quarter and try to set a tone, because you don't want to give guys like Jimmy, like Steph, like Draymond kind of room to breathe.
No, and we've seen that across, I mean, the whole Warriors, I mean, we could call it a dynasty, right? This whole Warriors dynasty, when they set the tone and teams end up chasing them, it goes south real quick for the opponents. Like, how many times have you seen Steph Curry, Draymond just break the floodgates open, and then all of a sudden it's like an anime or something where, like, one guy, like, inspires the rest of the team with the power of friendship, and then the floodgates open, everybody starts hitting threes, and all of a sudden you're playing catch-up for the rest of the game. I mean, this Warriors team has been there and done that, Parker.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of friendship tonight, especially with Draymond Green on the other side. One thing that gets me a little nervous, and I think we talk about it a lot in sports, but I've definitely seen it prevalent, especially in hockey, when you win the series early and you're waiting on the other series. It's hard to kind of emulate a basketball game, right?
Yeah,
like, it's hard.
I was going to ask you about that. Are you more like a rest into the game kind of guy, or would you rather have been playing up until now?
It's tough, man, because, in these situations when you play 82 games and you go into a playoff series, like, rest is important, right? Like, it's super important to have your bodies ready to go. But at the same time, you don't want to come out in the first quarter and kind of lay an egg, and you don't want to come out with no energy, and you don't want it to take a quarter for you to get ready to play the game, because this Warriors team just played a game in Houston 48 to 64 out, like, not many hours ago, so, like, they were just playing a basketball game. So fast forward to tonight, you can't come out lackadaisical. You can't come out with no energy. You have to find that Game 5 against Lakers energy. I was talking to somebody down in the court a little bit earlier about kind of the different sports and what it looks like. And I've heard it so many times at hockey, especially, about how, like, you want to just keep playing. Like, you want the next game to be here.
Right.
I think it's similar in basketball, but it's obviously different across every sport. But it's key. It's super key tonight that the Wolves don't come out with negative or low energy, because the Warriors are here to play. They're only given a 4.3% chance to win the title, the lowest probably they've had in a long time. So I'm sure that's on the bulletin board for Steve Kerr tonight. So expect the Warriors to come out with energy, and the Wolves got to match that right away.
And you mentioned just setting the tone right away, which is something the Wolves did right out of the gate against the LA Lakers, and kind of just proceeded to bully them all throughout the series. And now we're going up against a Warriors team that we mentioned last segment. You have the size advantage once again. And as a team that, speaking of fights, they basically were in a Royal Rumble for the last 2 weeks against that Houston Rockets team. Are you expecting more bully ball inside the paint, kind of just out muscling these guys, similar to the Lakers series?
I don't think Draymond can turn it off. Like, I really think it's just part of his brand. And I'm curious for you, like, again, we're just going to do this recurring bit now where you played, I didn't, but like, what do you, as a player, and you know that at some point it's going to get chippy, like, what is the coach telling you, or what are you thinking as a player of, like, at some point this is probably going to escalate beyond just basketball? How do you prepare for that to try to stay focused on what you're trying to do?
How do you deal with a bully? Like, do you have a particular player in mind from when you were playing? Like, who's like a bully that comes to mind that you're like, what are we going to do about this guy?
Well, Zach Edey is a bully. That's for sure. He was a big bully, man. He was a 7'4" bully. His elbows were at the height of my face. So regardless if he was trying to be a bully or not, he was to me because I was eating elbows for 40 minutes. This is no surprise, man. We've seen the full choke from Draymond Green on Rudy Gobert. We'll talk more about that, obviously. Like, this isn't
he did a
surprise.
Superman punch in Game 7 the other day.
This is not a surprise what you're getting yourself into. This is the Warriors, but more importantly, it's Draymond Green, right? And like, we've seen all his antics and we've seen everything. So I think the guys are conscious of it, but I'm sure there's assistant coaches like pulling guys like Rudy Gobert or pulling these guys that kind of have shorter fuses, kind of more not mild-tempered by any means, but I would consider Rudy Gobert to be. But you just got to be conscious of it. And at the end of the day, like, if you can keep it between the lines and play good basketball, that favors you. Like, look at what happened to Draymond in that series against LeBron when he kicked LeBron in the no-no square and then he got him getting suspended. So I think it's like you got to just be prepared for anything. You don't know what you're going to see from Draymond Green. Like, anything could happen with that guy. Like, we could see him get thrown out of games. We could see him throw punches like he did to his own teammates. Like, this guy is crazy. You just got to be aware of it. And I think, like you said, Kyle, it's hard to really know the difference when you're on the court and you're playing. Like, you get fired up and you get juiced up for a game. But, like, the Wolves are aware of what this Warriors team brings, especially to a kind of physicality standpoint.
I just think, too, like, the narratives, like, as a fan, when it was Warriors after Game 7 on Sunday night, like, you do get excited because I think Alan Horton had that Jimmy Butler hasn't played in here since, like, the iPhone 13 was out. So it's been, like, over 1,100 days. So as a fan, I know you want to let it out tonight, let Jimmy know how you feel. You want to let Draymond know how you feel. But also, too, like, you do have an opportunity here to make the Western Conference Finals again for this, like, back-to-back seasons.
Right.
So I think you do need to kind of compartmentalize a little bit of, like, there's no Klay Thompson. That's how the choke started, right? Klay and Jaden. There's no Karl-Anthony Towns. That was the Cat and Jimmy thing. So I think you got to get that off your chest early. Let Jimmy know that you definitely don't like him. But also, you got a team here that a lot of these guys don't have that baggage. And if I'm sure that's what Finch is telling them too. Like, don't worry about all the other noise. Don't worry about how many times we passed on Steph in that one draft. Like, we're the home team. We have the advantage. We have a good chance here to do something that I don't think people thought was possible, especially when they traded Cat. So go out tonight and, like Parker said, like, set the tone, bring energy. I thought they did a great job in Game 5 in LA. They didn't hit a single three-pointer, but they had the right mentality. And if you bring that tonight, I think you set yourself up with a really good chance to take Game 1 and kind of, establish yourself in the series.
And I think, like you alluded to, Kyle, almost all the storylines and beef is all just us as fans, injecting that into this. I don't think the players are thinking about any of that stuff too much, except maybe Draymond, who's just going to be out there just throwing bows, throwing hands.
Who knows what he's thinking?
Yeah, I think it's just like the monkey with the cymbals in his brain, just banging, and he's just going to throw punches and do his thing. And we all know he was a Defensive Player of the Year finalist this year. He's future, probably first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best defenders the game has ever seen. But Kyle, I'm going to start with you. What do you think his role is offensively in this series? Because obviously his role offensively just over his time in Golden State has radically changed.
Going to all these games in round 1 in LA and here, the biggest takeaway just being in the arena is that screen setting now is just offensive line play. Like, it is just hands up like you're doing the dummies at practice. So for Draymond, he's going to be like at the elbow with the ball, using his rear end to like set these illegal screens and get Steph open. So I think you're going to see him with a lot of playmaking opportunities, a lot of responsibilities. And then also, too, they don't have, like the Lakers, a ton of size. So, like, defensively, he's still going to probably be their best rim protector. You said Kevon Looney earlier. Like, I would imagine he gets a little bit of run. Yeah. But, I mean, a lot of their offense still funnels through Draymond. But I think in the Rockets series, he also had, like, going into Game 7, he had like 42 points on 41 field goal attempts. Like, he's not going to be an offensive threat. You're going to allow him to shoot threes, and if he hits a couple early, you can't, change your game plan up. I think Finch wants Draymond Green shooting threes, but you don't want him to be able to get into that 10, 11 assist range, because then that's just him facilitating, getting Buddy Hield, getting guys like Gary Payton II open. So that would be my biggest concern is don't let him dictate the flow of the game.
Kyle, I love that point you brought up about the screening. I actually saw a stat today on Twitter. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. But it was a crazy analytical stat about how the Warriors shoot almost 7% better from three when they set screens and they hit bodies. It was like I don't know who went and statted
How do you
that.
even calculate that?
Some AI or some nerd went and found that. But it's true, man. And you're going to see so many illegal screens off the ball today, but none of them are going to get called. This is a Warriors team that's built on setting hard and physical screens. And we talk about it in our program all the time. If you can screen somebody, you create so many advantages for your team offensively and vice versa defensively. If you get screened, you have to do so much over-rotating and helping. And this Warriors team is the definition of screening off the ball, making hard, tough-nosed plays. We're going to see a lot of physicality. If you're the Wolves, you can't get upset. You can't go looking at the refs and being like, hey, where's my foul? You got to find ways to get through screens. There's two ways. You either whip it, which means you go under it, or you chase it behind. And when you're guarding Steph Curry, you better not go under that thing. Because if you do, it's going right to him and it's going up and in. So you got to chase those pin down screens all day long. Really against all these Warriors players tonight.
Their offense is just so intricate and in perpetual motion. I mean, Steph Curry throughout the regular season series against the Wolves, he averaged 8 assists per game. And I think I read that since Jimmy's been there, that they've assisted on more than 73% of their buckets. I mean, this is a team that shares the rock. I mean, you have to think that shutting down those passing lanes and kind of trying to find a way to make them play some hero ball and isolation is kind of one of the big keys to this defensively.
That's a key stat right there. If your assisted field goal percentage is good, you have a great chance to be in any single game. And it's a stat that our team, we count it all the time. How many assisted field goals do we have throughout a game? So that's when you obviously pass the ball and they make a shot, right? Like for people that don't understand that. But it's a key stat. So then how do you think about defensively? Me and PA talked about it this week. Deflections are key. Like the Wolves count and they stat deflections. Like that's a key stat for an NBA
And the Warriors
defense.
do that as good as any team in the NBA.
Right. So this is going to be two teams that love to do that kind of stuff. They play different games, Kyle, and obviously you know this. They play different styles of games, but at the end of the day, this is two teams that play hoops the right way. This is like two coaches that know what the heck they're doing. This is going to be, what do you think? It's going to be a coaching battle a little bit in this series, don't you think?
I think so too. I mean, JJ Redick, I was a fan of him, but also like at some point it is call a spade. Like he was a rookie first year head coach.
Yeah.
So Steve Kerr has been around. He's very familiar with Anthony Edwards just through the pre-draft process in 2020, but also like his time with Team USA. So he probably knows what Ant really likes, and he's going to try defensively to scheme against that. But yeah, I think Finch had a major coaching advantage in round one. This is going to be a little more of a chess match. And I think it's interesting because that Lakers team and this Warriors team, they both made huge trades at the deadline. It never really seemed in hindsight like Luka clicked or figured out his teammates. Maybe that roster wasn't built, whatever. Jimmy, to his credit, has come in and just fit like Warriors culture. Like he has slid in. There was games where he'll take 6 shots because all he's trying to do, like to your point, is get Steph open. It all revolves around Steph. And I think tonight you're going to see him probably accept all those boos and that negative energy, be really calm. He's always caffeinated with Big Face coffee, but like he does keep it low key. And I think it's all going to be about how do they throw different bodies like they did at Luka. Yeah. Completely different matchup against Steph, but it's going to have to be Nikhil. To your point earlier, Jalen Clark a little minutes, Ant, Jaden, just a lot of guys to make sure that Steph never has that breathing room because you've seen it before. If he has an inch, he'll kill you.
No, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like if you don't watch Warriors basketball, like watch this one tonight, man. And I hope it doesn't go. I hope it doesn't go well. For right. Obviously, everybody in this room thinks that, but like the stuff that they do offensively is like it's basketball.
Harlem Globetrotters-esque almost
man,
at times.
If you're a basketball fan, like it's excellent. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. But like you said, this is a coaching matchup. People say JJ got killed coaching-wise. He did. Finch killed him coaching-wise.
100%.
Now, this is a coach in Steve Kerr that's been to levels that we're trying to get to, knows what he's doing, but does he have the roster that the Wolves have coaching-wise to make it work? I don't know. We'll see tonight, Max.
And I want to talk to you guys about that depth. We're going to take a quick break here. This is the pregame party presented by Youngstedts. And before we get to break, I just saw a text from my dog, Saucy Saucerson. He's out there listening with Lil Louie right now.
Shout out Louie.
So shout out baby Louie, getting ready to take his first steps, getting ready to say his first words. And we're hoping that the Wolves are cradling the Warriors to sleep tonight in game 1.
Louie, if you hear this, yell hootie hoo.
Oh, yes. We need Louis' first words to be hootie hoo. I'm just going to keep saying it and hope that it happens. While we're on the subject, real quick, before we go to break, just to make a nice little segue from the baby talk. Speaking of the youth, do you guys expect to see the guys like Jalen Clark kind of enter into the line? I know Finch is really tight with that lineup. He has his rotation of guys that he doesn't really stray too far from. But Jalen Clark is kind of the one guy that's been on the outskirts. Sometimes he plays more than others. What do you expect to see in terms of the bench and the youth movement?
Yeah, I think Marnie Gellner hit it on the head this morning and with the power trip. She said that in the playoffs you shorten your roster, right? And that's inevitable. But this Wolves team, especially in this series against the Warriors, if things aren't going right defensively, what the Wolves have in that 8th, 9th, 10th man is defense. And I think that's different than a lot of teams. A lot of teams in that 8th, 9th, 10th man, they maybe have a guy that can go get an ISO bucket. We have Terrence Shannon Jr. and Jalen Clark in that role. So it's like you can throw a guy out there for a couple minutes and hope for the best. I don't know what you see, Kyle. But
what you learned from J.J. Redick in that first series was he had no options to go to, and that's got to be kind of a scary feeling out there. For Finch, it's got to be he must sleep easier at night knowing that he has those options. Yeah. But to Marnie's point, like I don't see them all of a sudden expanding to 10 in round 2. It's going to be that whole 8 starters mentality. Someone's going to get in foul trouble at some point. Jaden likes to play physical defense. Luka loves that. Steph is a different beast. So I think you pull that card if you need to, but I wouldn't be surprised if tonight and Thursday and moving forward, it's 8 guys.
That was youth movement talk inspired by baby Louie out there. We love you, Louie. And we can talk Wolves all day, but just for one little segment, I want to take a brief detour and take a look around the rest of the NBA. I don't think there's a single boring series in the playoffs right now. Like that weekend of games was absolutely nuts, I should say. Every matchup has intrigue to its ears. Zacho made a face. Don't button bar that, Zacho. It's just an S, okay? It's just an S. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look around the NBA before we get back to more Timberwolves talk here on the pregame party presented by Youngstedts. We'll be right back after this.
30-footer on the way. Drains it! Hear the Howl all season on iHeartRadio's Minnesota Timberwolves channel. And also live tonight on KFAN, the audio home of the Wolves.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Surprise mom with long stem roses dipped in gold and platinum, every birthstone color for each child. Just $79 at Arthur's Jewelers.
Want to meet someone not online? At It's Just Lunch, we make great matches and even arrange the dates so you can make a real connection with a real person. It's Just Lunch. Connection awaits. Guaranteed dates. Visit itsjustlunchtwincities.com or call 612-355-2727.
Hey, it's Meat Sauce here for my amazing friends at Chill Boys and chillboys.com, the greatest undies of all time. I have them on right now. I absolutely love them. The best part, go to chillboys.com right now. Get 15% off your order with the promo code SAUCE15. You can also find them at Shields.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
With all the meal deals going on, how do you get the best value? Well, try the $3 meal deal from Holiday. Choose from one of our savory Johnsonville hot dogs, brats, or sausages, plus fresh brewed coffee or extra large Polar Pop, and a bag of chips for just $3. At Holiday, you get a spicy jalapeno cheddar dog, juicy ultimate brat, or anything else on the grill, plus a fresh brewed coffee or Polar Pop and chips for just $3. The $3 meal deal, only at Holiday. See store for details.
You can find me at hundreds of liquor stores and locations in Minnesota. Meat Sauce here to tell you about my secret sauce from my friends at Elm Creek Brewing. Yep, I've teamed up with my friends at Elm Creek Brewing, and we are bringing you the most delicious THC drink on the market. Ask for the secret sauce from Elm Creek Brewing at your favorite liquor store or watering hole today, and enjoy the all-natural ingredients which help you minimize the groggy feeling the next morning. The secret sauce by Elm Creek Brewing is my THC drink of choice. It absolutely wails.
651 Carpets Plus is the home of the next day install and Minnesota's choice for flooring and countertops by making the buying process transparent and easy. They shop the competition to make sure they have the best products at the best price for you and back it up with their low price guarantee. They're so confident they can't be beat, they'll give you $200 off if you can find it cheaper. It all starts with their free in-home estimate. They don't believe that you should have to pay to have someone come out and measure for purchase like the big box stores. They don't add waste like a lot of their competitors. 651 Carpets Plus has a state-of-the-art measuring system that gets your waste down to a piece the size of a doormat, so you're not spending extra on unnecessary materials or labor. You'll also get free furniture moving, free tear-out, free disposal, free upgraded steps, interest-free financing, and you'll save 7% or more with no tax. Check them out today at 651carpets.com or call 651 Carpets Direct.
School's out and summer fun starts now with the U.S. Women's National Team in St. Paul. Bring the whole family to Alliance Field on May 31st as Team USA faces off against China PR in an action-packed match you won't want to miss. It's more than just soccer. It's a summer kickoff celebration full of energy, excitement, and memories in the making. World-class athletes, family fun, summer vibes. Tickets start at just $40 before taxes and fees. Get yours today at ussoccer.com/tickets.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
It's Game 1. Wolves hosting Warriors tonight at 8:30. Presented on The Fan by TimberTech. Hear the entire second round live on iHeartRadio and KFAN.
The pregame party presented by Youngstedts. Max Fuller here alongside Parker Fox. And it's always a pregame party here at the Target Center, but it's also a party in the USA, to quote 21st century philosopher Miley Cyrus, a.k.a. Hannah Montana, which, in case you guys didn't know, it's the same person.
Wow,
I just
really?
found that out. I just found that out. Spoiler alert.
Actually?
Same person. Didn't know. Had no idea this whole time. But it's a party in the USA. There's all types of interesting games going on around the NBA. And Parker, I know you're like me. You're just a hoops head. You're trying to watch every game possible. So let's just start in the Western Conference. Yesterday's absolutely bananas Nuggets Thunder game. Nuggets squeak by 121 to 119. Aaron Gordon with the go-ahead 3 in the final seconds of the game. And I believe it was Chet Holmgren that missed a couple of key free throws.
He did.
Just kind of made a couple of mistakes down the stretch there in general. Nuggets steal home court advantage in a game that they were trailing by 10 almost the entire game, to the point that it was getting pretty late, Parker. I'm not going to lie. I was like, man, I'm turning this game off, bro. I'm going to bed. I got to wake up early in the morning. And I was shooketh when I woke up this morning and saw that the Nuggets had won 121-119.
Yeah, we can talk a lot about, plays down the stretch, and we could probably go into 20 minutes of me dissecting the last 12 seconds of that game.
I would love to hear that.
But it didn't make sense what Oklahoma City was trying to do.
No.
Like, I understand fouling up 3. I 100% get it. I'm an advocate for fouling up 3, but don't do it 1 second after you score. Wait till they bring the ball down the court a little bit. So that was a mistake either on Alex Caruso's end or on Mark Daignault, the head coach's end. One of those didn't go the right way. Denver takes advantage of that. Aaron Gordon makes 2 free throws. You fast forward, Russell Westbrook draws the foul on Chet Holmgren. Chet goes to the line, ends up missing both of the free throws. Brutal break. Transition happens. Ball goes out to Aaron Gordon. I thought he was going to drive the rim. He had the whole lane wide open. He decided to pull up. I was like, holy cow, Aaron Gordon's shooting the transition 3, and it's splashed through the rim. Jalen Williams misses the game-winning shot there from half court or whatever it was. But, I mean, what a game, right?
It was incredible.
A phenomenal game. And it's one of those situations where, like, we've talked about, with the Wolves, completing their series early like the Thunder did, versus the Nuggets having to go 7 in the previous series, and the Nuggets came out in that game right away, and they were ready to play. And yeah, they have the best player in the world, and Nikola Jokic, and
he's
had
putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers again. It's like 40 and 22 and something like that.
Like played unbelievably.
He's a freak, man.
Well, he had 42, 22, and 6. So obviously was playing at an elite level, but that's going to be a series to watch, man. If you're a basketball guy, you're going to love that series just because there's talent all over the floor. There's talent on the Thunder side. There's talent on the Nuggets side, and this is a Nuggets team that has been to the place that this Thunder's team is trying to go, and what an opportunity for the Nuggets to try to keep defending what they have kind of established as a team. And honestly, man, when we talk about the Wolves, and we'll get into this as our series moves along, and we don't want to be looking ahead too much, but like, I like playing the Nuggets.
Me too. I love playing the Nuggets. I mean, just in general, and again, we don't want to look ahead too much. Still 0-0. Haven't even beaten the Golden State Warriors in one game.
Yeah.
But if you're a Wolves fan, just in the whole macro perspective, you couldn't have had a better start to the second round of the playoffs, potentially having Boston down, Cleveland, a team, which, again, we're looking way too far ahead, but Cleveland, a team that was pretty dominant against you during the regular season, having both of those two teams be down 1-0, you couldn't have had a better start as a Wolves fan. And that's actually what I was going to ask you, because I'm sure you're feeling the same way about me. You'd much rather play Denver in the Western Conference Finals than OKC, right?
Yeah, OKC they just have too much depth. They have what we saw from the Wolves last year in the Western Conference Finals is we just didn't have the stamina and the power to power through 3 7-game series or power through a Western Conference Finals. And what scares me more than Nikola Jokic is depth, especially on the interior that Oklahoma City kind of presents. But you got to get past this first round series first. You got to figure that out first. But you look across the board, and what a opportunity for the Timberwolves right here to be the first team that's the higher seed to win Game 1. None of the other 3 games had happened. So the other game that we kind of wanted to highlight was that Knicks and Celtics game. That one went into overtime. Holy cow, is that a basketball game? And we saw the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson, perform in the clutch just about as good as anybody has ever done.
I was literally going to say, I think, and maybe it's recency bias over the last couple of years, he's one of the most clutch players I've probably ever seen in my entire life.
He's just got it, man. He's like, I think when you talk about a guy that had to kind of go through it to get it, Jalen Brunson is one of those guys. And now you see it with the way he's kind of played down the stretch, especially in this regular season. And then into this playoff series, he was excellent in the first round. He was excellent last night against the Boston Celtics. At Boston, at TD Garden, they stole one there. The shot making down the stretch and into overtime was awesome. The one concern I have if I'm a Boston fan is Jason Tatum. Only 4 points in overtime in the fourth quarter combined.
He was brutal. And he was hunting for Jalen Brunson just to essentially get locked down and end up settling for like a step back 3. And that's not, you don't usually see Jalen Brunson making that much of an impact on the other side of the ball, but he He had Jason Tatum in hell last night.
He had him in fits, man, and I think that's obviously a key. It was a 108-105 win in overtime. Like, that's a 90-point regular kind of regulation game score.
Right.
So clearly the Knicks are trying to defend and win with their defense. And then the last game we talked about is over in the Eastern Conference as well. It was the Cavs versus the Pacers. The Pacers stole game 1. That game 2 is going on right now with the Cavaliers up 14 halfway through the third quarter.
And we knew they were going to bounce. They've been the standard of excellence throughout the NBA this season thus
Certainly,
far.
and that's a series to watch moving forward. Obviously, it's a Cavs team that was super hot through the regular season. We'll see if they can kind of continue that. I think they are the better option to give the Knicks or a Celtics a better run in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Just my prediction there. But we got Cavaliers up 14 midway through that third quarter.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the rest of these games happening over the NBA. It's been super exciting. And just for 1 second before we head back to Timberwolves talk in the last segment, Parker, just back into the Western Conference. It's been the ongoing debate throughout the whole season. Who's the real MVP? Is it Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Is it Nikola Jokic? Who would you vote for if you were one of the esteemed voters? I mean, we don't know that you're not. I mean, you could be. We don't know that you're not one of the voters.
Who knows? I might have a vote.
Maybe. So who would you be voting for if you were one of the voters?
Well, to me, it's fairly simple. The award is most valuable player, not best player. And I think if you take this guy off of their team versus the other guy, it has way more of an impact. And to me, that player is Nikola Jokic. I think it's tough when he's, I think Shai should have won it last year, if I'm being completely honest. But Nikola won it, 2 years in a row now?
Yeah.
It's hard to win the award 3 times in a row. We've seen it throughout the history of the NBA. When Kobe got snubbed of it once, when LeBron got snubbed of it once.
Yeah.
The NBA hates awarding this trophy over and over again. But the award is most valuable player, and that's Nikola Jokic. Now, don't get me wrong, Shai is phenomenal. What he's doing on the offensive side of the ball, the way he orchestrates an offense, the way he gets to the free throw line is exceptional. But
to your point, that team could keep the engine rolling.
They would have the depth. They wouldn't have the superpower. It would look different, but they would have the depth to keep winning basketball games without Jokic and
the
Denver.
Nuggets would be a play-in team.
It's
not even a play. They're a lottery team. Yeah,
it's a crapshoot over there in Denver if they don't have Nikola Jokic. So for me, that's an easy award. Although I do think Shai is going to end up winning it. I think that's the way it's going to go this year.
Yeah, there's always voter fatigue with MVP stuff. Like we see it across the league. We kind of saw it in the NFL this year. I thought Lamar Jackson probably should have won the MVP again.
Yeah.
But no offense to Josh Allen. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah, I'm with you. Nikola Jokic, he's the MVP that the people know he's the MVP. But SGA, who I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sick of SGA.
And I think if you went and tallied NBA players, they would tell you the same thing.
100%.
They'd tell you SGA is great, he's awesome, but Jokic is just, man, he's a different breed. He's a different breed.
Yeah, SGA's just got a different level of PR going on. It seems like he's just been pushed in our faces excessively for a guy that doesn't.
Shout out to AT&T, right?
Right. Yeah, God, I'm so sick of those commercials. I'm so sick of seeing them in all the commercials. I'm just jealous of the OKC Thunder. I'm hating on them. So I'm loving seeing the Denver Nuggets take a 1-0 lead on them. And I would love for the Wolves to see that's their chief rival these days is the Denver Nuggets. So I would love another chance at the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Have the Jokic brothers sitting behind us again, scaring the hell out of us. It would be a lot of fun. But first, they have to get past the Golden State Warriors, and that all starts tonight. Game 1 is going down in just about an hour or so, considering the tip-off schedule. So it's never exactly at 8:30. So that tip-off is right around the corner. Me and Parker Fox hanging out with you until 8 p.m. until we puff pass it on to Cal Soderquist and the rest of the Wolves Radio Network crew. One more segment to go. This is the pregame party presented by Youngstedts, and we'll be right back.
This is Timberwolves basketball. Live on the Timberwolves channel on iHeartRadio and tonight on KFAN. The Fan and BigDeck.com want to help put $1,000 in your hand. Listen every weekday to The Fan. The Fan.
Life is too short to live with a tiny deck. Think big and be big with a custom-built deck from BigDeck.com. Whether you want to expand an existing deck or start fresh with a brand new build, leave it to the pros at BigDeck.com. Visit BigDeck.com and get your deck on.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2020 2024 Nielsen Report. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, we save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Deals are popping up all over the place this week at Fleet Farm. Like Farm Fresh Selects veggie and herb plants, 3 for $9.99. 1 cubic foot bags of Miracle Grow Moisture Control potting mix are just $9.99. And ladies' Carhartt Tencel t-shirts are 25% off. From garden staples to workwear essentials, Fleet Farm has everything you need this season. Always at the best prices, guaranteed.
Everyone has an opinion, but no one shares theirs like Dan Barrero. You hear him on The Fan. Now watch Barrero on TV for his take on sports, politics, and current events. Enough Said airs Friday night at 9:30 on Fox Channel 9. Proudly presented by Bradshaw and Bryant.
Now at Menards, save big on everything for your landscaping project. Whether you're shopping for edgers, pavers, or wall blocks, Menards has the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block ready to take home today. Plus, get fast free estimates when you use our landscape design program, available in-store and on Menards.com. Save big on landscape blocks when you shop at Menards. Also, check out the great deals from our weekly flyer on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Ravens have released longtime kicker Justin Tucker after 13 seasons. Tucker is the subject of an NFL investigation involving allegations of improper conduct during massage therapy sessions. General Manager Eric DaCosta calling the move a football decision. In a statement, the team saying in part, "We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives." Elsewhere, the NFL, alongside President Trump, announcing that the 2027 NFL Draft will be held in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford has finalized a new deal that'll pay him $84 million over the next 2 seasons. He's entering the 17th year in the NFL. And former receiver and 3-time Super Bowl champion Julian Edelman has been voted into the Patriots Hall of Fame by fans, becoming the 37th inductee in team history. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more, this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Dean's Home Services, we are outrageously professional.
To everyone who believes big flavor makes life better, we've got something special waiting for you at Culver's.
That's right. We're bringing back a flavor-packed fan favorite that's sure to put a smile on your face. The Colby Jack Pub Burger is here with a crave-worthy combo of fresh beef, Wisconsin Colby Jack cheese, crispy onions, and zesty A1 pepper mayo, all stacked on an everything bun. And we're not stopping there. We're also introducing something totally new. Concrete mixers and lemon ice coolers made with fruity Skittles Popped. This limited time Skittles Popped mix-in can be blended into our creamy, fresh frozen custard or slow frozen lemonade for a colorful crunch that makes every moment a little sweeter. So how soon can you get here? Because these bold bites won't be around forever. And trust us, you don't want to miss them. From Wisconsin with love,
Welcome to Delicious.
$651 Carpets Plus is the home of the next day install and Minnesota's choice for flooring and countertops by making the buying process transparent and easy. They shop the competition to make sure they have the best products at the best price for you and back it up with their low price guarantee. They're so confident they can't be beat, they'll give you $200 off if you can find it cheaper. It all starts with their free in-home estimate. They don't believe that you should have to pay to have someone come out and measure for purchase like the big box stores. They don't add waste like a lot of their competitors. 651 Carpets Plus has a state-of-the-art measuring system that gets your waste down to a piece the size of a doormat, so you're not spending extra on unnecessary materials or labor. You'll also get free furniture moving, free tear-out, free disposal, free upgraded steps, interest-free financing, and you'll save 7% or more with no tax. Check them out today at 651carpets.com or call 651 Carpets Direct.
It's Game 1. Wolves hosting Warriors tonight at 8:30. Presented on The Fan by TimberTech. Hear the entire second round live on iHeartRadio and KFAN.
Segment of the pregame party presented by Youngstedts. Max Fuller here alongside Parker Fox. But the party's just getting started. Allen, Horton, Cal, Soderquist, and the rest of the Wolves Radio Network crew will get you right from 8 to 8:30. And speaking of getting right, we got the Vox in the house.
What up? What up, Parker?
PA. He's got the whiteout gear ready to go. Descending from the clouds.
I don't know if you just got back from Ghana or, let's see, Emily Morocco, but one of you two, you brought the weather with you into this booth. Holy cow, the only thing stickier than this booth is going to be the Wolves defense.
Hey!
I love it. Rudy Gobert interiorly. I don't know, man. We've talked a lot about Rudy Gobert today. PA, what's going to happen interior? Interior defense is going to be huge for the Wolves today. We know the Warriors like to shoot the deep ball, but they go inside too. What do you think about that?
And good morning.
And good morning. It's I don't know what your opinions are. We heard at the beginning, went and got some food. Here we are. So if this has been stressed and or amplified, then so be it. But when it comes to the inside guys, like you said, I think it's going to be a process of the first 8 minutes of the game where racing at Canterbury Park begins in like 2 weeks and change. But you should be seeing those racehorses tonight. I mean, they played 2 nights ago in a 7-game series. Steph's 37. Jimmy and Draymond are 35. Run with the Wolves tonight. Out of the gate, and they're racing, and the Howl just picks up the tempo, pedal to the metal, and runs through that zone.
Preach it, PA. We were just talking about that at the beginning of the show, is that the Wolves have to play with pace, and they have to, it's something Finchy said ahead of the game, they have to win the possession battle because the Warriors are so good at A, limiting teams' possessions, and B, creating more of their own. So you're 100% right about the playing with the pace.
Well, think about, I mean, I spent the third segment today talking about Kurachek, Steve Kerr-Check, and just some things that he's done in his career. So Kurachek, a very well-respected coach, what he did to the Rockets in Game 7, he played the most zone defense of any NBA team I've ever seen play consistently in a game. They wouldn't take mid-range shots. You know, he'll use Kuminga for 35 minutes one game, and then he'll use him for 2.
Right.
He'll use Looney, who averages 8 rebounds a game against the Wolves, maybe 20-23 tonight. Kevon Looney's playing about 4 minutes a game. So he does things like, so this ain't J.J. Redick. This isn't everybody sit down at the end of the bench, you're not going to play, and then the next game, I'm going to need you, and you're going to wonder where I was last game. No, this Kurachek ain't J.J. Redick. It's on tonight, Maxwell.
Talk about
it's
it,
on.
PA.
I'm howling like a homie right now. Hootie hoo.
He's right, man.
Hey, Derek, can you give me a good hootie hoo? Just.
That's That comes from deep, man.
That was an
child.
that was an HOF hootie hoo right there.
That comes from deep. What also comes from deep is the three ball. We've
Talk about
seen
it. Yeah.
Steph Curry throughout this playoff so far shoot the three ball at a high rate. I think it's the identity of what this Warriors team wants to do. PA, how do the Wolves take away the three ball, especially from Steph Curry in game one tonight?
Well, I mean, honestly, after of what we saw from Boston last night,
45 missed threes.
And it's the I don't like to use this low hanging fruit bit everybody uses, but it's like, hey, T-Wolves, we saw you against the Lakers and you won. Hold my beer.
Right.
But that is the last time we saw this team.
Yeah,
it was a functioning clankathon the whole night. But Rudy went Chamberlain on it, and we got the money. So, Rudy, who? So, from a three-point standpoint, I think the focus actually is on us. I don't have the numbers or the analytics in front of me. I'm going to guess we shoot every bit as we have to shoot more three-pointers in Golden State.
Yeah, I think the Wolves
because
are
they
top
play more
three.
with pace.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, when they got the old guys, they want to one possession it because they got some killers at the ends of games. Holy cow, Stephen Butler.
Yeah,
end of a game and it's close.
Right.
Those are killers right there.
And I think on that point, too, we have to find a way to win the offensive battle, especially on the glass. This is a team.
Huge.
We have way more size than this Warriors team.
And this Warriors team, it's like sneakily, without having a lot of size, they're one of the best in the NBA at offensive rebounding.
Well, they just play so hard, and they play within that system where everybody's crashing the glass. The number one, the easiest three to make in all of basketball is the offensive rebound kick-out three.
Right.
It's the same shot where when you're just in the gym alone by yourself, you got somebody rebounding underneath the hoop, they're passing it out to you. It's the same shot. It's the shot you take the most, you practice the most. We have to find ways offensively to rebound the basketball and then look to shooters. Unless Rudy Gobert just powers that thing up and dunks it home like he
Right,
did.
but that wasn't predictable last time.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers were low, but all the right people were like, I mean, it was like Ryan Suter when he played blue line for the Wild. You just like, okay, well, where are the goals and the assists and all that? And it's like, no, you don't get hockey. I mean, the stretch passes and all of the super special nuance that he did. That kind of like was Gobert the first, 4 games of the series. Seriously, I mean, even when JJ, who's not Kurachek, was isolating the Luka Rudy Gobert bit, and it worked a little bit, but then it got shut down so much so that they stopped it.
Right.
But when it was a little wonky, seriously, Rudy was balling.
Yeah.
Okay. Even when he was getting around him and getting a scoop, Rudy was balling on those plays.
Certainly.
Hey,
right.
Zach, turn the camera on yourself real quick. You know why? Come on in here. Zach Halverson. I don't know if he shared this with you or not, but see, having the Howlin with the homies and Wolves pregame, postgame, whole thing, this is like his therapeutic Davenport of love, man, off that L he took with the Wild. He's on the road in Vegas. What's it like to be in Vegas with no money? At least you're following a team that loses. So he's all negative and everything, but I could sense when I came in here, he's howling with the homies right now, though, isn't he? Yeah. Hootie-hoo. Yeah! My son Derek, give me a hootie-hoo. Another Warrior right now. Hey!
All right, everybody on
man.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Hootie-hoo.
I love it, man.
Winnable series. They're favored in the series, and OKC took an L last night, but
Fat L.
Denver with Adelman's doing some things.
Yeah.
We ain't tripping on Denver around here, beating them 8 in a row.
Nope.
I mean, but it used to be Finch, Malone, something with Malone in that bit. Couldn't get around Finch.
Right.
And Malone's gone. So now you got Adelman, who was on the same bench, but he's very smart.
Yeah.
But we're looking too far ahead, man. Let's get tonight. We have to win tonight, man.
We have to.
And I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be convincing.
Got to find a way to flip the script. All the top seeds in the 3 other series lost game 1. I don't know if that's, having too much time off or whatever
Crazy.
it may be, but they all lost. We, as
Crazy.
the Wolves, have to find a way to flip that script. And I think it starts with just energy. And like PA said, and he's been hollering on it for weeks about this Wolves team. Run the ball.
Right.
Get it up the sideline.
But see, I don't know if that's the bit for the you would know better than us, man, because you may do something one time against Team X.
Yeah.
But now Team X, Grant is going to come back Thursday, only a day in between. The premise here, because I like when the Wolves run in the first place.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if that's a 7.2, get it to an 8.1 tonight early. because they played Sunday, 7-game series. You haven't played in a week. So, I mean, you got energy to burn off and maybe overzealous mistakes that'll happen because you're too jacked up having not played in a week,
Get
it out of your system.
The last thing you want to do against a Warriors team is get sloppy. Get sloppy with the ball. Get sloppy with box outs. Get sloppy with execution.
That's how they live. That's where they exist.
Steph Curry and Draymond Green will absolutely dice you up if you give them the opportunity and you get sloppy. You can't. You have to find ways to play within yourself, but also dominate in all facets. We got Wolves in 5, man. We got Wolves in
and you know what else you have to figure out is how and why your boss, Chad Abbott, decided to not pay the air conditioning bill for the Howlin with the Homies booth because it's Moroccan hot in here, just like the Timberwolves on KFAN. Can't wait. Alan Horton to Fox.
Yes, sir.
We got to give our predictions quick. I got Wolves 113, 109.
And you've been red. Speaking of hot, you've been red hot with those predictions. What's your prediction,
What was
PA?
the score?
I got 113, 109.
All right, so he doesn't have the Wolves covering. Wolves cover, and if there's going to be a win of 10 to 20 points or more, I think it's tonight.
Love it.
By the Wolves. Yeah, I'm convinced the Wolves will win tonight.
Yeah, I'm going Wolves 110, Warriors 98.
Booty
Though.
They
They ain't even cracking 100.
They made it interesting late, but then Maxwell came surging.
Talk about
get the
it.
Cover in the How.
We ain't got no Golden Gate Bridge, but we're building a bridge to some gold, and it all starts tonight.
Preach.
Wolves, Warriors, Game 1, Western Conference semifinals coming up next on the Wolves Radio Network. Stay tuned to iHeartRadio, the free iHeartRadio app.
For that preach, and it's a good one.
That check ain't hit yet, though. If you're listening, Uncle Steve, I ain't got it. Wolves, Warriors coming up next. This is the pregame party presented by Youngstedts. Peace.